Hello again. It's me, Michael Goldberg, 3 times the charm this week. Welcome to the LinkedIn Live Lunch Hour special edition. And today I've got a great guest. Just got to keep bringing the great guests on, right? It's called engagement. It's called, hey, here we are. But my goal is to help bring people and make them get them the success that they want. And I've got a special guest. So it may look like Shennee, but her name is Shennee, like Jenny, right? And her name's Shennee Rutt. And Eric has popped on. And she is an executive resume writing specialist, an expert career development coach. And I've known her now for probably about 4 or 5 months. And we've been building this great relationship, which is what you're supposed to do on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is to help create platform change, right? And she's got over 15 years of human resources and recruiting experience. She's got the proven track record. She's an influencer on social media. She has helped many clients with their resumes and is now starting to really branch out into the career coaching model. And I am so happy to have her on. Let's bring on my friend Shennee Rutt. Hello, Shennee Rutt. How are you?
Hello. How are ya?
I am
Having
great.
me. Happy to be.
Yeah, and it's good to talk to someone very positive like yourself, especially after whatever yesterday was, because what a pardon me shit show that was. But glad everything seems to be kind of somewhat normal up there. But we're not going to dwell on that today. Basically, what I wanted to do was, we want to talk about you and we want to learn about you. So, what I want you to do is kind of just give us a, that tell me about yourself question. Kind of let the listeners hear who you are, what you do, what you're passionate about. So, tell us a little about Shennee Rutt.
Hi. Well, for those that don't know me already, this is my world. I'm passionate about people and have always been in customer-centric people roles all of my life. Started in my early retail days and just really loved getting into helping people along the way and further them to career excellence. I've been, my business has been, my coaching business, Laurel Virtual Solutions, has been in business for 8 years. And it's just going to get better. It's going to be a great year.
Definitely. And we apologize. There's something going on with the delay today. StreamYard seems to be lagging just a little bit. So apologies to that. And certainly, I know we have Eric T. He's backstage, but Eric, I want to tell you, if you want to come on, you're going to have to be on video. So you're going to have to get your video working before we bring you on. But before we do that, I do want to focus on Shennee and tell her, have her really talk about some of the things that that are important to her. So, you've been doing resume writing. You're moving into career coaching. As we talked about a little bit, it's new year, new career. Tell me what does that mean for everybody, and what are the opportunities?
Okay, well, we're not going to talk about last year because this is a brand and new year, new you, new career. How about that? So,
there you go.
I think we're going to be looking at a couple of new things happening while living alongside of this COVID crisis here. So I see 2021 as an evolving year for a lot of things. Career excellence, setting intentions and being intentional with your purpose and your goal. Mm-hmm. Navigating, through what work's going to look like. There's a very strong possibility we're going to be moving to a hybrid work model with a 3-2-2 model. Have you heard of that?
I haven't. Tell everybody what that is.
So it's well, there's a concept called 3-2-2, which is similar to working 3 days, 2 days off from home, and then 2 days off. So it's rather than doing a Monday through Thursday or 3 days a week. It's definitely new, and nothing is, ironed out yet, I'm sure, but everybody's going to have to be looking at a hybrid model, I'm sure.
Well, isn't that like I've got a good friend of mine, Clarissa Klumpner, whose husband is a lieutenant in for the Dallas Fire Department, and they do 3 days on, 2 days off, 2 days on. So is that similar to what you're talking about?
Okay.
Maybe it's 3 days on, 3 days off.
Yes. Right. Yes, but that's the general idea.
What do you think about people working remote? What do you think about people working remotely versus having to go into the office? Do you see a shift in that thinking that companies could save a lot of money by not having to bring people into the office and pay for that real estate?
Absolutely. The whole landscape of how the corporate world works is going to change. And, there's co-working spaces that could potentially be impacted in a good way from this. Cost savings for sure. With the new responsibility of working parents having their school teachers too, that's a whole nother dynamic. So I think employers are really to have to be extremely flexible. They're going to have to trust their staff to get the job done and be productive like never before.
Yeah, and that's. But don't you think that we've that employees have proven themselves to employees have proven themselves to the employers that they can be just as productive, if not more productive, by working at home?
I hope so. I'm still hearing some disagreement there among people that have never had to work from home before. They've always been in an office. Those folks are really having a tough time adjusting, I think.
So what if you had to throw your advice to them one way, how would you counsel, having been a human resources professional, what would you say to those possible managers that are micromanagers and want the people in? What would you say to them, and how would you convince them to do things differently?
Wow. Well, it all starts at the top, of course, and I just think there's going to have to be a whole nother level of trust, and that's going to mean getting together via, keeping your staff together via mediums like Teams and Zoom and Slack, and being resourceful, but also trusting time that the communication is going to be there. I think it's going to be a large responsibility for the managers to check in with their staff one-on-one and the phone and call instead of being so virtual. But, how are you really doing? Can I do anything for you? Do you need help? What can I do? Just really being there.
No, absolutely. As you work with your clients, what are some of the things that you're seeing consistently where you have to consistently having to counsel and provide your wisdom to them? What are you seeing out there from a candidate perspective that really there's still very similar issues going on with them and what they're experiencing?
Okay. In regards to the job search or resumes?
To their resumes, like what are some of the common mistakes that you're seeing on their resumes when they come to you going, help?
Well, first thing I see is the resume is far too long. I'm getting it in 5 and 6 pages sometimes. And then at the same time, we can have a condensed version of 3 pages, but it's just so crowded, and understandably 15 to 20 years experience, you don't want to leave anything out. But it's just crafting it in a way with language and being impactful with your skills, your accomplishments, and making your content super crisp and fresh. Because still, hiring managers only take about 5-6 seconds to take a look at your credentials. So if it doesn't hit them on page 1.
That's right.
Yeah.
And really, wouldn't you agree? It's not even full page 1. It's like first half page, kind of top of fold, as we talk about online. Wouldn't you agree? It's really the top half of the resume.
It's the top third probably, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, do you see people on their resumes just putting a ton of information on, like almost too much information, like they're trying to give it away all on their resume, versus doing the highlight reel?
I see a lot of people. I see a lot of people stockpiling all of everything they did, but we're forgetting about what they accomplished. Did you save the company $60,000 last year? Did you sell $200,000 worth of investment, loans, mortgages, whatever it is you did? Those are the accomplishments that need to be there. Not everything that you did in a day, in a week, and a year.
Right. So we've got I believe one of your clients in the background that would like to come on. I believe you know this gentleman.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Do you see him in the background?
Right.
I'm gonna bring him on here. Let's see.
Okay, super.
There he is. Hello, Eric.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We're doing well. It's very nice to virtually meet you. And so,
Thank you.
So tell us, what's it like working with Shennee? We're going to I'll talk to you for a few minutes, and then I want to get back to Shennee 101. But I did, since you took the time to be on, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what it's like to work with her. How did you know she was that career coach, that resume writer that you had to go to?
We had a kind of an introductory call. We've been connected for a number of years through social media, which is great. And we just had a call one day back in September, and we probably talked like, I think, an hour and a half. And I think the thing that really stood out to me was just the time that Shennee took to try to get to know you as a person. Really just set things apart in my mind. Like, here's somebody who's really genuinely interested in her potential client's success, and just wants to help people succeed in life. And that's a win right there.
It is. That's so awesome. And I know you're currently in search right now. Right?
Oh, thank you.
Correct, I am.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. And hey, HR people, I'm looking at his profile. Not shabby at all. He worked at Nike for 6 years in Beaverton. Looks like he started out as an HR specialist. He was promoted to an HR coordinator, and then he's an HR business partner for Nike for the last almost 4 years. Almost 4 years.
Yeah.
And prior to that, he worked 17 years at Walmart, more side on the operations side. But you guys need to go check out Eric T. So Eric T, why do you, my question to you,
Yeah.
Hire this guy.
why hire this guy? Yes, definitely. But why do you hyphenate? Why do you not remove why don't you put your full last name on the profile? I'm curious.
I thought I did. Huh.
No, it just says Eric T. Period. I
Oh,
always,
it does.
I always tell clients when I was doing this, that, put your full name out there, right? They want to be able to find you. They don't know your last name, then
Huh.
they can't find you. So it's all right. Just a little Goldberg constructive feedback for you, sir.
Yeah. When I look at it, I see my full name, so I'll have to go look at some of the settings, because I know they keep moving settings around on LinkedIn, and sometimes they'll turn things on. And
Yeah,
you
I
don't
see his
know,
full name
so,
too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's weird. So
it's there.
But so one more question. I'm gonna let you go, Eric. So
Okay.
why should people hire you?
Why should they hire me? Wow, that's such a good question. Really, just the way I think about it is, I just want to help people win, succeed. And I like to look at things from an end-to-end perspective, and really, let's get to the real heart of the solution to the problem and fix that, rather than just putting a bandage on it. So I'm always looking at that, trying to look at the whole picture. What's the root cause? And just, I want to help everybody be successful and win.
I love it. So so you can find Eric. It's ERICK. What's your last name, Eric? Just so
Taft. T-A-F-T.
Eric Taft.
Yeah.
And Eric Taft in Portland, Oregon, metropolitan area. I assume, are you open to relocation, or do you want to stay in the Portland area?
I'm needing to stay here
right
now. Yeah.
Perfect. No worries. So there you go. You get your free advertisement for the day, and this will
Thank you.
be out there for posterity's sake, right?
Yeah.
So I wish you nothing but the best. And, it's always good to have a testimonial about my guests that I have on. So thank you for taking a few minutes.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a great day.
All right. You too. Take care.
Thanks, Eric.
All right. So Adila Anwar, what about tech professionals? Adila, I want to find out, are you asking, do you need help with your resume? Or are you asking the question, do you need to list out all the technologies? Which I would guess would be the way, I think that's what the question meant. So what about tech professionals? Should they word vomit all of their so she's cybersecurity, so all of their cybersecurity technologies, obviously her certifications. What's your advice on that?
Okay. I like to categorize technical acumen or technical fluency, however you'd like to word it, under one, usually on page 2 for most of my clients. And we just list it out in priority of keywords. We do pay attention to the job postings. So if they're applying for a job and there's particular language that the employer is looking for, of course, we want to make sure that they all have those skills, and that they're listed prominently, in right front and center. I think there is a fear of putting too much in, but keep it specific and keyword.
Yeah. What is your, when I'm talking to folks, I always say, look, you can list the skill, but you better have some deep experience, right? Don't you agree? It shouldn't be just list the skill because you took a course in it. You really need the hands-on skills. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
And she says,
so,
how to keep
that's
yeah. Yeah, Adela. So I don't know if you can see these comments I'm throwing up on there. It says how to keep it
I
vague
can.
without overselling. So, do you have any advice there? How do you keep it vague without overselling?
Be targeted and narrow. Right. You have to really be targeted with your intention on whether you're going into HR tech or security and finance, or be very specific as to the area you're an expert in and that you have the background in.
Right. Absolutely. So, Adil, I hope that that answered your questions. We appreciate you popping on and asking it, and certainly we ask more people if you've got questions to come on. We're going to be on for about another 10, 15 minutes here. And here's another promo for you, my friend, Rob Lockhart. Do you know Rob?
I do know Rob. He's a good friend of mine.
Well, he thinks you are an amazing resource partner, and he does a nice shout out for Eric. He has a deep level of corporate experience, but I like his last sentence. Sometimes we need to get over ourselves and find some help, and I think it's true, Rob. I would definitely agree with you on that. I know when I was doing career coaching, and maybe Shennee, you can elaborate on this, and it's just sometimes they come to us wanting help after it's been a year and they've kind of run out of money, and it's expensive, for them to, to put that kind of investment into that. So, my advice, and I want to get your advice, but my advice is as soon as you're laid off, and I think there'll be more layoffs coming. I really do. If you've got severance, take a portion of that severance.
We do. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. But invested in yourself. Understandable, the bills are going to be there. The bills will pile up. That's fine. All right. It's inevitable. But invest in yourself. And there are a lot of career people that are willing to work with you on price and understand your situation. So, what are your thoughts, Shennee?
Oh, truly, I couldn't agree more. You really have to put yourself priority. And thank you. That was a nice comment.
Yes.
So you really have to decide, if you've been out of work for a while, what isn't working, and we can put a strategy together and come up with a great plan and be impactful with a high impact resume, LinkedIn revamp, and a cover letter that is customizable and template, and just get you into the best mind and focus that you can be in to be successful. But you have to ask for help. Ask for help. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, and I think we're open to
Happy to be there.
Right, and and I know that for the longest time, and I see Eric, you have changed your name on your profile. Good job. So I can see your last name. But when you're like, I don't know about you, but I would get these little one-off questions, and they'd be like, "Hey, can you help me find a job?" Do you get those at all?
I do, but not as often as I used to, because I'm focused more in the career portfolio space with resumes, and LinkedIn optimization is so important. LinkedIn, very important.
Well, let's talk. All right, so let's change gears. Let's talk about that. LinkedIn is important. We all know that. And now there's this new distraction called oh my God, a Clubhouse. I don't know if you're a member of that yet. If only people that have iOS phones.
I am not, but I just newly informed.
Yeah. So, but
I'm aware of it.
But yeah. So tell us about why it's important to have a good LinkedIn presence for the career search.
Okay. LinkedIn really is a completely separate part of your career portfolio than a resume. It's even more strategic, I think, in my opinion, because you have less real estate to be more impactful. And so it's super important that you have all of the criteria to be a completely optimized profile. And I see so many folks who try to do the shortcut and copy and paste what's in the resume into the profile text. It's just not effective. So you have all of these great features. You have I think even less time for a prospective employer to make an impression on you with LinkedIn. You have to have a very impactful profile photo, background photo, and your headline has to be bold as to who you are. Now we have 220 characters. We were used to 120 characters, so we got a nice upgrade last year.
Right.
A couple of nice enhancements that LinkedIn rolled out, so that was really nice to see. We've got some breathing room. We can express a little more, which is nice. But no, to fully take advantage of your profile and all of this is essential.
Absolutely. So I know that there were some other updates made last year that you wanted to talk about that you really liked. Talk to me, talk to the audience about what those updates were.
Okay. Well, we have the extended headline we already talked about. There's a featured, there's an unlimited group messenger now, stories, which is interesting. Polls is interesting. You can, engage a little bit differently with your network, and dwell time, events. Of course, the hashtag open to work was launched in July. Support reaction is nice. That's an extra a little emoji that you can express your thoughts about somebody's comment or post. Name pronunciation is my favorite because I have an unusual name, and it really does break down the barriers on people, being nervous about mispronouncing my name. And for that, anybody else who has an unusual first or last name. Office was another one, and messaging, newsletters. What's everybody's favorite? I'm curious. What was your favorite?
What's my favorite update?
The new, yeah.
What I really liked was the ability to tell people about what the services that I bring. So when they added that next year or last year, of course I had to go through LinkedIn customer service to get it. Because I thought it was fairly evident that I was a provider of services, but all I would see is hey, tell people you're looking for a job. But now you can tell people about jobs you're recruiting for. So that's a nice update that's been added, right? So
or open to hiring.
Yeah, open. Well,
Right.
That's what I meant. Open to hiring. I think for the job seeker, I don't know if I love the green circle that goes around everybody's profile picture that says open to work. It's almost like they're stigmatized. And I don't think that was intentional. I don't think it was intentional. I just think it's the way it happened. What's your thoughts on that?
I've seen it be a little less successful than I had thought it would be.
Less successful? Is that what you said?
Right. I see it being much more impactful, leaving it off of the profile photo.
Yeah, definitely. So as we kind of begin to wrap up here, any questions can be posted in the comments. And let us know what you are, because you only have a few minutes. But you can always ask your questions on the replay, and we will be glad to respond to that. So I've put it here in the scroll, Shennee, but how should people get in touch with you? Shennee, can you hear me? Shennee?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I was asking, I have it in the scroll down below.
There's a delay. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Email, LinkedIn, boom. It all works.
Do you have a website?
I don't have a website, but I have another email as well. laurelvirtualconsulting@gmail.com.
So either that one or this one will
I can
work
post
as well.
it actually.
Yeah, you can post it in the comments. That'd be great. So, well, time flies when you're having a good conversation, I always like to say. And I really appreciate you taking the time to be on the broadcast today. And Eric, we appreciate you popping in. And Adela and Rob, thank you for your questions and statements. But certainly, if you need resume help, LinkedIn help, career coaching help, reach out to Shennee Rutt on LinkedIn. It's probably going to be the easiest way. You'll start with that. She's always very responsive. And Shennee, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Michael. This was a great conversation, and thanks for letting me introduce myself to many.
Absolutely. So have a great rest of your week and weekend. And thanks, everybody. We'll be back on Tuesday. I promise no more LinkedIn Lives this week. 3 is plenty. Though my friend Gabe Leal does it every night at 7:30 Central Time, Monday through Friday. Don't know how he does it. But thank you so much for watching, and make it a great day. Stay safe.